faith alive. When you feel the odds are stacked against you, or when you feel hopeless, or when you feel drained. The first thing I want to say is, don't try so hard. You know, what is your self-talk like when you're going, I'm down. Oh no, I must be up. Now come on. You can't be down. And we must also recognize and acknowledge when we work with too much resistance and we're trying so hard to change something or to be something, our focus and our energy is so much on the lack of it that we create more lack of the same. So when you are experiencing a low vibration, you want to move it into acceptance and stillness. You are the ocean. You want to just let it stay there for a while. And I'm going to give you 10 things that you can do when you're in that lull. So in other words, you work with it, and then you do a divinely guided action alongside that will raise your frequency. And when your vibe is up, then you increase it further. You see, the problem is not that we're experiencing low vibration, it's how long we stay there and whether we resist it. Because if you resist something so much and your focus is on it the whole time, you just kind of like running in circles around it all the time. So here is the 10 things. So the first thing that we can do is vision, dream, imagination, visualization. You know, the first thing that we can do when we feel low or we're losing faith or we're losing hope is to go back to the beginning of your vision. Go into that vision and just take a few minutes out and imagine. You know, children, when they play, they daydream and they have imagination. And whilst they're playing in that dollhouse, nothing else matters. It's the dollhouse and it's real. And in that imaginary world, beautiful things happen. And imagination is a superpower. And I think that sometimes we forget our dreams in all this messy middle stuff, working to and fro, working this, making decisions here, trying here, doing that. We forget about that. So one of the things that you can do is take a few minutes out and daydream your life. Make a cup of tea, sit back, close your eyes, and just imagine your life. Imagine you being on purpose. Imagine the world as abundant. Imagine love and kindness filtering into your life and how there's giving and receiving. It's a beautiful place to be, and it raises your vibration. More so, we know the power of visualization every day, because that's kind of like the kickstart to synchronicity in our lives, yes? But let us not forget, when the waves start rolling, let us not forget our vision. You are not detached from your vision. It is merely your picture of intention. It is an intention. It is like, this is so. And when we imagine, we use that superpower to create. So one of the 10 things, and they're not necessarily in a specific order, but remember to daydream and daydream your vision. The second tool that you can use to keep the faith is gratitude. Gratitude is powerful. I want to challenge you. Have you ever gone through an entire day saying thank you for every single thing? So you switch the kettle on. You say, thank you for the kettle. It's working. Thank you for the water that came out of the tap. Thank you for the electricity. Thank you that I don't have to cook the water on a fire. I don't think we often think about gratitude in that way. So you do gratitude while you are making that cup of coffee, while you are making your breakfast. Thank you for the food, for the nutrition. Thank you for the bowls. Thank you for the cutlery. Thank you for the entire supply chain that brought this food to me now. Thank you for all the people behind the scenes and the cashiers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then when you start your day and you start to work and you start to receive emails and do your thing, well, thank you for the emails. Thank you for the communication. Thank you for the data. Thank you for the Wi-Fi. Thank you that I can see, that I can speak, that I can receive, that I can be silent. And when there's nothing, then you say thank you for the space that this nothingness create to move the new into it. Because you see, you can either say thank you for the space where new things will move in, or thank you for the empty calendar because you know that clients will move in there, than to worry and be anxious and fearful about the nothing or the empty. That's the power of gratitude. And when you start using gratitude in that way, it expands your receiving channel and you just start seeing all of these things in your life to be grateful for. There's just so much. And what happens with this vibration then? It becomes more. And it then attracts to you exactly what's in the same vibration. Gratitude is a powerful tool, and gratitude is not just something that we recite in the evening or write a quick list of 10 things. Gratitude is a living vibration that's like a golden thread through every day. Have you ever said thank you for your phone, and thank you for the data, and thank you for the Wi-Fi, and thank you that you are able to hold your phone and type on it, that you are able to see the messages, that you are able to connect with others everywhere internationally. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. The third tool that you can use is prayer. Prayer is a beautiful, sacred conversation between you and the divine. And it is often that space when you close your door, you become quiet, and you get everything off your chest. And sometimes, when there's tears, they are cleansing. And sometimes we are standing in for someone else. That is powerful. That is connection. It is a form that keeps you connected. However it is that you do the ritual or to whom you are connected to, it's such a beautiful vibration for you. Let us remember that. Let us remember that is most certainly one of the virtues of divine inspiration that keeps you connected. And isn't it beautiful to make time? It's almost like a sacred appointment, yes? Saying, I have an appointment with the divine. Please excuse me. It's a form of conversation. It's a form of talking. It's a form of affirmation. It's a form of giving kindness, of bringing healing. Because when we do that, we feel connected to whatever it is we bring in prayer, and therefore there's no separation. And when there's no separation and you are connected to all that is, your vibration also raises. So we've had imagination and dreaming, daydreaming, visualizing. We've had gratitude and prayer. The fourth tool that you can use is meditation. So meditation is an action where we become completely still and we focus on our breathing. Because meditation renews, it rejuvenates. Yes, it is a spiritual practice for a divine connection in silence to receive, but it is also calming the mind. It's like that defrag that we do, yes, or the reboot that we do for the mind. And on a physical level, we connect with our breathing and we bring the oxygen into our body through the breath. The breath is the life force. That is why after a sitting of meditation, you feel new life force through you. You feel ready for the day, or you feel calmer to go to bed whenever you meditate. In the Reset Circle, we dealt a lot with meditation and the benefits and the method of meditation. That is a beautiful gift and a very powerful one to raise your vibration. Then there is another tool that comes with an affirmation that I want to share with you. Let us know in the comments how you are receiving these tools. Will they help you? Are you finding a better alignment and vibration that you can navigate the journey through the up and downs with? Are you remembering and seeing now that even with these tools you are still the ocean? Let us know. Give us your thoughts. Yes. There is a little sentence or an affirmation that you can use to bring you to being in receptive mode. You know, sometimes our mind is so busy analyzing and going to and fro and up and down and backwards and forwards, and what should I do here and what should I do here, and then you're just busy with something but your mind is thinking of something else. But yet we have this whole list of things that we ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for support, ask for what should I do here. That's all like running in the mind. At some point, you must shut it. At some point, you must say, I am listening. I am putting myself in receiving mode, and now I am listening. And you go through your day, not justifying, not analyzing, not worrying, analysis paralysis, but you just stand back a little bit. And you pay attention to what you are receiving. How does this receiving happen? It happens through our thoughts. We can hear sometimes our thoughts. It happens through signs, like have you ever noticed, if you are present, how much you see around you? You see this, you see, I've driven that road 1,000 times and I've never seen that sign. Why? Because you've never given yourself permission to receive. The minute I say, I'm giving myself permission to receive now. I am quiet, I am listening. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at what you receive in your thoughts, in your heart. You can receive it through feeling. And it's amazing what you hear when you start listening to others. You know, there's a principle many years in my corporate training. I've used the principle, and I think you've often seen it around Facebook or on these affirmations or posts. It says, are you listening to reply or are you listening to understand? Because sometimes when someone else is talking, we are already constructing the reply in our mind. We're already figuring out what we're going to say back whilst the other person is talking, or we're already busy constructing our opinion in our minds. And I think that we will never then actually hear what the other person is saying. But when it works with divine guidance, the minute you say, I am now listening, and you just receive and you just hear, and people will speak, you'll hear opinions, you'll hear judgments, you will hear solutions, you will hear alternatives, you'll see signs, synchronicities, but you will truly then start receiving from others whom you never thought you could receive from. And one sentence or one word will change, and it will be exactly what you needed to hear. So remember, receptive mode, a powerful tool. The other tool is action. Yes, our beloved little word, action. And so I think action is something that we used to because we are so busy. I want to, however, remind you of inspired action. You know that little list that you have somewhere in a journal, or that little list that you wrote a year ago when you were on holiday and you got these amazing ideas? And you know that little list that you wrote at the beginning of the year with creative ideas that you can do? Where are those actions? Have you done some of them? Have you done one of them? Inspired action are those actions that's linked to ideas that we receive once we've asked for guidance. It's creative ideas that we receive when we come from holiday, when we were away on a retreat, or when we sit journaling, or most of mine come while I'm driving, and when I'm in the shower, I just go and then you've got to run to go and write it down, or I've got to grab my phone and do a voice recording. And so yeah, I've got long lists. And I maybe don't get to everything every day. But at some point, I must start ticking them off. Because you know, it's divinely inspired action that leads us to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And when they all come together, boom, all of a sudden is the evidence of our vision board. You see. And when you do one little action, you know, there's a principle that says now is the only time we have. And you will always do them at the right time. So sometimes, yes, there are reasons when the ocean is calm and quiet and nothing moves. So sometimes, yes, there are reasons that it doesn't happen and that you don't action it then. And sometimes you think, like the number one thing, that you're actioning it now, and then it gets rescheduled, and you're actioning it now, and then it gets rescheduled. And when you follow that flow, because I can tell you now, if I forced it, or if I pushed it, or if I wasn't in acceptance of the flow, since the first time I got that message to where it is now, wow, I would have forced it prematurely. But I had to still listen. I had to still receive. There was more, there was more, there was more. So never get despondent when your things get rescheduled or moved out. Move with it. Be in alignment. And you will only have the discernment if you connect it to the divine guidance, because then it won't trouble you as much. You'll be disappointed and you'll think, why? Why? But in your heart, you know, there's a bigger reason. I just have to trust. And which brings me to the next point, trust. Affirm your trust often. Speak your trust. How often do you speak your trust out loud into the universe, where you say, I trust you, I trust you. I'm working with this and I trust that the outcome will be good. I'm working with this and I trust that everything is in divine order. It looks like chaos around me, but I trust that everything will always work out. I trust that everything is always working out for me. I trust. I trust. And sometimes you have to speak it out loud so that the throat chakra can vibrate with the power of that truth. Trust is powerful. And we have to affirm and speak our trust, because we can trust that we are always looked after. And you can trust and know that everything will work out for you. And the more you affirm it, the more you will feel it. And then the last one is my beloved hope. You know, hope is such a subtle vibration, but it's so strong. Have you ever tried, when you feel down or when you feel anxious or worry, have you ever tried to invite hope in? Have you ever tried to then first connect with hope and then invite that vibration into your heart and go, hope says, I will never give up. Hope says, the best is yet to come. Hope says, all is well. Hope says, keep on seeing the good. So I'm going to repeat 10 ways that you can use to keep the faith going. Whenever you feel up, down, sideways, upside down, inside out, the first thing that you have to remember is you are still the ocean. Don't resist the different tides. We spoke about imagination, the power of imagination and daydreaming. Gratitude, prayer, meditation, being in receptive mode, divinely inspired action, trust and hope. And I do hope with all of my heart that you will keep these tools with you in your toolbox, in your pocket, and that you'll work with them throughout the day, every day, whenever you remember, and you will feel how the vibration of your work, of your relationships, of everything changes for you and keeps you connected to divine grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you.